Bengals Breakdown coming at you guys from training camp, and some positive news. Chidobe Awuzie has been cleared from the PUP list, so a very short stint for Awuzie. Very much sounds like more of a precautionary thing, just to make sure he was fully healthy and good to go. So he is already off of the PUP list for the Bengals. He'll be out there practicing later today when Bengals training camp fully gets going, with the rookies, the quarterbacks, and the vets now all having reported. That leaves 3 players on the PUP list for Cincinnati. Lyle Collins, he might take a little bit longer to get cleared. Mitchell Wilcox is probably the next man off, whether that's in a day, 2 days, whatever. And offensive lineman Devin Cochran is going to continue to miss some time. So it's the tackles, Collins and Cochran, who are going to miss the most time. Wilcox should be next, but Awuzie already back. If you guys want to stay locked into everything going on during Bengals training camp, then subscribe. We'll have free videos for you guys all throughout training camp, the preseason. Fingers crossed on maybe a watch party or two. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/BengalsTV. Let's talk Joe Burrow deal. Since Justin Herbert has now been paid by the Los Angeles Chargers, he signed a 5-year, $262.5 million contract that features $193.7 million in total guarantees, the fully guaranteed number, I should say there. A massive practical guarantee. Let's talk about practical guaranteed of, like, hey, your deal, we don't have your base salary guaranteed for year 3, but there's a roster bonus that's guaranteed as well that you're gonna get. So it's all basically guaranteed there. This now clears the path for the Bengals and Burrow to reach their own record-setting contract. Here's what Herbie got from the Chargers. 5-year deal. Total money is $262.5 million. That averages out to $52.5 million. That is the most for a quarterback. The guaranteed money does not beat Deshaun Watson's deal. That is not a fully guaranteed contract, so maybe if that was a sticking point for the Bengals. Again, both sides have kept things quiet in terms of where they're at with their negotiations. That's gone pretty well so far. Mike Brown declined comment basically at his press conference the other day. Guaranteed money comes in under $200 million, but it's almost 194. It's a lot of money. So it has always been a matter of when, not if, Joe Burrow gets paid. So when does he get his deal with the Cincinnati Bengals? I think we are in days. Even if that's more like 15 days, he will get an extension in the not-too-distant future. So predict this for me. How many days does it take for Joe Burrow to get paid? It is the pinned comments on today's video. So if an ad happens to play here on YouTube, that's fine. Nobody cares. Ignore the ad. Go vote in the comments. It is now truly time to get this done for the Cincinnati Bengals. There's no reason to wait, drag your feet. There's no other quarterbacks who are going to influence the deal in terms of where things currently sit. So get it done. Joe Burrow, once it is done, will be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Justin Herbert is now the new number 1, $52.5 million. Congrats to Herbert from that perspective. I'm sure he's excited about it. He's certainly a good enough player to be worthy of it there. This is Herbert beating Lamar Jackson, who beat Jalen Hurts, who had beaten Aaron Rodgers, who had beaten Russell Wilson. The most recent guy, if you're a franchise quarterback, normally gets a massive contract. Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson might not be the best deals right now. The best deal is Patrick Mahomes. That is a insanely team-friendly deal. I would love a 10-year deal for Joe Burrow in the Mahomes vein. I would do 10 years, $60 million so fast. It's not going to happen. At least I doubt it will happen, but it'd be awesome. Don't want to set up unrealistic expectations there. Josh Allen is number 9. 3 quarterbacks are tied for 10th of varying degrees of success: Stafford, Prescott, and Daniel Jones. Those guys will then drop off the list once Burrow becomes the highest paid guy. From a guaranteed money perspective, Lamar Jackson allegedly wanted a fully guaranteed deal. Didn't get it. Still got a pretty great deal from the Ravens. Herbert is now at $193.74. This is the practical guaranteed number, by the way, which I'll put an asterisk on there for Mahomes' deal. The Mahomes deal is kind of different. It's kind of a set of rolling guarantees. It's almost a 10-year fully guaranteed deal, but it wasn't fully guaranteed at signing technically, and it wasn't technically a practical guarantee. So the Mahomes deal is your outlier. Ignore it. Just beat Justin Herbert is what's going to happen here. So my proposal, and you can fudge the numbers a little bit south, a little bit north if you want to, assuming it follows the Herbert contract, a 5-year deal, $265 million in total money. That's averaged to $53 million per year. Guaranteed nice even number here as well, $195. You can go a little bit more if you need to. If Burrow wants to take a little bit less, that's fine as well. But it makes him the highest paid quarterback, beating out Herbert. And look, the legwork has been done now. You can use the Herbert contract as a good setting point to kind of, okay, let's adjust this, adjust that, give him a no trade clause just like Herbert got there. I don't think this will be that complicated of a deal as long as the Bengals and Burrow in their previous conversations were not drastically off from what Herbert ended up getting. I don't think that would be the case, but it is at least worth mentioning. So are you okay with making Joe Burrow the highest paid NFL quarterback? A for yes, you are. B for no, you are not. I certainly am. I can't wait for the deal to get done, but you guys can vote for me in the comment section. Part of what goes into paying Burrow is finding ways to pay others on your roster. Both owner Mike Brown and Joe Burrow in a recent interview discussed being able to pay others after the deal is done for the franchise quarterback. Here's what Burrow said about keeping guys. He said, "Our front office has done a great job of that the past couple years of putting us in the best position to succeed the way that we have. So we'll see where it goes, but I'm confident we'll be able to keep everybody." Now, everybody is up for interpretation. You're not going to keep every single player the same way you didn't keep Jesse Bates, for example. In the end, it is not on Joe Burrow to take an insanely team-friendly deal in order to keep others. Even the Mahomes deal, which was very team-friendly, has not led the Chiefs keeping everybody. They chose to move on from Tyreek Hill because KC hasn't been as aggressive as they could have been. It is on the front office to structure the contracts in a way to pay the cash and keep the cap hit down the same way other NFL teams are doing to afford these massive contracts for the quarterbacks and others. The salary cap is skyrocketing. It's going up by at least $10 million every single year. That's why the deals have gone up so much. The new trend, keep your cap hits low, pay out the cash. Push money off into the future. You do that every year, it's like an interest-free credit card. You'll always have more money next year. It's worthwhile there. Here's what Mike Brown said, meanwhile, on keeping guys. He says, "We have some good players need to be fed. That's a challenge. It's mathematical. You get a bag of corn and you have 10 hogs. Well, you're going to put that out to them. The bag is going to be empty, and some of them aren't going to get it." The big difference with that analogy, by the way, for me, you can always just buy another bag. Let's not overlook that as a real option there. He also specifically commented on Tee Higgins and Jamar Chase. I've seen some clickbait out there of like, oh, they're not going to be able to do it. It's not what Mike Brown said. He said, "We're not out looking to replace them with other guys. We'd like to keep them around. We'll see if that's possible. I can't predict that, but we're definitely hopeful that we have long-term relationships with those guys." Chase ain't going anywhere, I promise you that. But will the Bengals keep Tee Higgins? That's the question, and there will be other players they choose not to keep there. Y for yes, N for no. Get those predictions in for me in the comment section. Now, you will not keep every single player, and the Bengals' moves in recent drafts have hinted at who they plan on not keeping. You know, the drafting of Daxton Hill. It was clear Jesse Bates was not long for this organization. Higgins, though, is the bigger priority among some of these players we'll discuss right now. Some potential personnel losses. The drafting of Charlie Jones, unless Boyd takes an insanely team-friendly deal or Jones looks bad, I don't think Boyd's going to be on this team this time next year. Jonah Williams. Did you guys see what Titus Howard got today? Unbelievable contract for an offensive tackle who's like, he's kind of okay, good-ish, kind of in the same vein, I'd say, of Jonah Williams, and he's getting $16 million per year. Jonah Williams' eyes up when he saw that. Chidobe Awuzie / Mike Hilton. You draft Cam Taylor-Britt. You draft DJ Turner. one of those guys will be with your team in the next 2 years. Logan Wilson, there's not a ton of options, but they did pay Jermaine Pratt, so I think they want to keep him. They'd like to have, I think, a franchise tag for one of Wilson, Higgins, or DJ Reader. No obvious replacement right now. He might not be as expensive, though. And I'll mention Trey Hendrickson. The Bengals don't cut players very often. They can get out of Hendrickson's deal next year if they want to. What the Bengals have to do, folks, is do more restructures. They have to take the salaries of their players, convert them into signing bonuses, keep the cap hits lower with Joe Burrow. That's not been their MO. The cash flow has maybe been a bit of a problem in years past from that perspective, but that is how the Bengals can afford to keep more of their good players. Let's see if ownership steps up and makes it happen.